Hello everyone, it is Stacy with the Stacy Jewel Foundation, and today we're going to talk about perspective. Are you ready to have a seat on the couch? All right, let's do it. I know I said let's have a seat on the couch, but I kind of just felt like standing, and I'm just in all areas of my house today. Not sure why, but anyway. Today we were talking about perspective, and perspective is how you view things. It could be positive, it could be negative, it could be neutral. You have got to decide what your perspective on your life is going to be. Meaning you have to decide if you're going to be happy. You have to decide if you're going to be sad or upset or frustrated. When you decide every day, when you get up every single day and you decide what you're going to be, that is determining the roadblock for the rest of your day. If you get up and you're frustrated and you're angry and you're overwhelmed, most likely on your way to work, you're going to be frustrated, angry, and overwhelmed. Everything is going to be other people's fault. No matter if you left 10 minutes late and now you're sitting in traffic, no matter if you have a meeting that day, no matter what is going on, it's going to be the foundation of your day. And you have to get up every day and determine what your perspective on life is going to be, what your perspective on that day is going to be. If you do not, it is going to decide for you. And usually, more times than not, it is negative. People have negative energy. They don't like their jobs. They don't want to be where they're at. They don't make enough money. There's situations in relationships. There's so many things, and the negative tends to take over. So you have to decide every single day when you get up what your perspective on that day is going to be and how you are going to have it play out. So have you ever heard the saying that you find what you're looking for? So when you go looking for negative stuff, you find it. When you go looking for positive stuff, you find it. And you have to do what is going to be best for you. There's always someone doing worse than you. So you can always find that. We are so spoiled with our everyday life that if one little thing does not go right, we are so upset and frustrated about it that we don't think about the people who don't have a car, who don't have a job, who are sick, who don't have legs, who can't see, can't hear. Their life, there's always, and I mean this to the fullest, there is always someone who has it worse than you. And if you think about that every single day, where you are does not seem that bad. You can rise up, you can move forward, you can do more, but you have to determine every single day what your perspective on life is going to be, what your perspective on that day is going to be. You have to decide that. If you are looking for something negative, you're going to find it. If you're looking for something positive, you're going to find it. When you wake up in the morning and you're listening to those motivational videos, you are amped. You're ready to go out to the world and do what you got to do. But if you wake up in the morning and you're hit immediately with negativity because you're checking social media or you're checking your email or you couldn't pay a bill or something's going on all day, it's going to be something. And it's like, as soon as you get up, you're like, it's always something. Okay, that's your mindset. You've literally just told yourself it's always something. So today it's going to be always something. Even if things hit you negatively, we'd be stupid to believe that there's nothing negative going to happen, right? But even if things hit you negatively, it is your perspective on how you take it. If someone comes to me and goes, oh, you did not get that promotion, but there could be other chances. I could be, oh my God, this is so horrible. My life is a mess. Nothing's working out for me. Or I could be like, you know what? Maybe that position wasn't meant for me. Maybe that position is not exactly what I needed. Let me go back to the drawing board and see where I want to be. Or if I even want to still be here. When you determine your place in how your perspective is, you allow yourself to align in that direction. So you may not have gotten that job. You may not have gotten, that car. You may not have gotten that loan, but maybe those were things that were not meant for you to be. I have been in a position to where I wanted something so badly that I prayed on it, I cried for it, I was begging for it. Like, I literally put it out there every day. It's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And then when I didn't get it, I was so bummed. But then I came back to my perspective of life and thought, you know what? I wanted it so badly, but I didn't even look at the negative aspects of it. I didn't even look that if I got that loan, now I'm going to be tied into this for 30 years and paying this high payment, or, you know, or if I got that car that I really wanted, it would hold me accountable to have no free time, because all my free time is going to go towards making extra money to pay for something I really didn't need in the first place. So sometimes you have to look at the perspective of things. Recently, my BMW got hit. It was a young girl. She was frantic. You could tell it was her first accident. I was pissed, but I was thinking to myself, this young girl needs more of guidance than me cussing her out or yelling at her for not paying attention. It was completely her fault. I got out of the car, asked her if she was okay. She said yes. Her brother was okay. They were really young. We were in this neighborhood. It was like $1 million, $1 billion homes. And her dad and mom came, and at first they were like, oh my God. And then I was very polite and said, you know, as long as they're okay, it is what it is. And her dad was like, we will take care of everything. So the insurance, long story short, the insurance, you know, paid off my car, but I kept the car and ended up selling it and getting cash for it. And then I went and paid cash for another car. My perspective on that the whole time was positive. It was like, you know what, this happened, but hey, what can I do about it? I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens. I'm not saying that every situation is going to be perfect like that, but sometimes if you have to look at the positive in things, I looked at it like, oh my God, my BMW is crashed and now I have no car. But then I also thought, I was making payments on that car. Now I have a car that I have no payments on, and now I can get ahead with other things that are going on. No, it's not a BMW, but by the end of the year, I will get something else that I really want, but now I have a paid off car that I don't have to worry about. Perspective is all you have to do to think about. Your perspective is what is going to keep you going, and it's going to determine if you're going in a positive direction or if you're going in a negative direction, or if you're just neutral. You're just cruising along, doing whatever happens with whatever happens, and life is just whatever it is. One of the biggest things you have to understand about perspective is your body responds to positive and negative feelings. So when you're negative all the time, you have headaches, you have stomach aches, your neck hurts, you know, you have side pain, you get stress, headaches, sometimes even to the point of vomiting. Like, your body responds. You are constantly releasing endorphins that are doing things to your body that should only be used in like fight or flight mode, not consistent negative all day, every day mode. Positivity allows your body to relax, to enjoy things. You don't get as many wrinkles. You're not as stressed. You're not having as many headaches. You're not tense in your shoulders. You're able to just enjoy the moment. And one of the biggest things for me is I had to stop being so uptight all the time, and like, no, instead of being here, I could be here doing this, this, and this, and just enjoying the moment, and realize like, I don't get as many headaches. I'm not as overwhelmed and frustrated. Like, okay, it's okay to sleep in and just let my body relax. It's okay. And it's my perspective on things. My perspective was like, if you're not working 24/7 and you're not hustling and you're not grinding and you're not this and you're not that, you're not doing what it takes to be successful. But in order to be successful, I have to be alive. And in order to be alive, I have to do things for my body that nourish it, feed it, relax, no stress. I do meditation weekends, days. Sometimes we have to like take a step back and get the perspective on our lives that we want and focus on that instead of what we actually have. Something that I have really thought about, and the experience of your life, I'm a hand person, I'm sorry. But the experience of your life is what you believe it to be. Some people can look at you and say, you don't have much. But if you love it and you feel like that is life to you, it is. Your perspective on your life is your life. It's not what other people think or judge you by. I know some people who have a very simple life, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then I have people who work hard to get everything they want to obtain because it's like, I only live once, I'll sleep when I die. Hey. And then there's those people in the middle who can balance them both out and kind of, do this and then do that. So it's like your perspective is what you make of it. You have to determine like, okay, this is my life. This is what I want to do. It's enjoyable to me. It doesn't matter what's on social media or what everybody else is doing. And then you really have to be very, your perspective is everything. So if you are envious and jealous opposed to optimistic and grateful, you're going to be envious and jealous instead of optimistic and grateful. Let's just say everything that somebody else does is going to annoy you, and it's going to annoy the heck out of you because that's your perspective on it. They get on my nerves. They're always doing something. Okay, but that's their life. That's their perspective on life. If that's what they want to do, why is it bothering you so much? Why does it bother you that they bought a new car? Is it because you know you could be doing more? Or is it because you just want to sit back and complain while doing nothing? Like, let's just be real here. Everybody's perspective on life is different. It doesn't mean it's right and it doesn't mean it's wrong. Your perspective for your life is what you believe it to be. So enjoy it, whatever you choose. If you choose to do nothing, or if you choose to do a lot, or if you choose to be in the middle, if you choose to be happy, if you choose to be sad, if you choose to be whatever, engulf it. Just know that you have to be very open-minded to what's going to come to you based on what you choose. If you want negativity, you're going to get it. If you want positivity, you're going to get it. All right. So one of the last things I actually wanted to cover is the fact that you have to be relentless in protecting what you take in and who you have around. I'm going to say it again. You have to be relentless in protecting what you take in and who you have around. And I say that because you can want positivity. You can feed yourself positivity in the morning. You can feed yourself positivity in the evening. But if throughout the day you're constantly listening to the negative, the bad, the gossip, the drama, you're going to eventually turn over to that. It is so easy for us to say, no, that's not me. I'm positive. I don't care. But eventually someone's going to say something negative and you're going to just dive right in and not even realize it. And then afterwards be like, I'm normally not negative like that. I can't believe I actually even said that. If you're around certain things long enough, it becomes common. It becomes a way of life. It becomes just what you do. So if you do not want to be around negativity all the time, you need to protect yourself. If you don't want to be around, certain things that you're not picking up or learning from, you need to protect yourself. You have to protect yourself just like you protect your kids. When you see a stranger come in and you're like, that car is a little too close to my baby, you're going to have to do the same thing when it comes to you. This person's getting a little too comfortable telling me things that I don't really even care to engage in. Sometimes we think it's nothing, but it turns into something because eventually we feed into it. So your perspective on your life has a lot to do with how you live your life. Positive, negative, neutral, happy, sad, whatever. Think about it every day when you get up. How am I going to live my life? How am I going to live? How am I going to protect myself from learning negative things or taking in negative things? If you want to be negative, you can be negative. You can say it the opposite way. How am I going to stop being around all these positive people? They're getting on my nerves. Either way, decide. I hope some way, somehow this helps somebody out. Go ahead, like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you think. And if I have helped you in any way, please comment below and let me know. Thanks, and have a great day.